Hey guys, this is Jen and Julien, and you're listening to X Appeal episode 23.
Yeah.
Dating, online dating, we're back on it. We're back on it. We already did an episode a while back about online dating, but we're doing another one. Oh no, actually we had a specialist that was giving us all the data.
Yes. Yeah. On the dating apps, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish you could tell, because I know who you matched with on Raya. I know who you did. One of the guys that you matched with.
I'm gonna slit your throat
I'm not gonna say anything. Don't worry.
If you say anything to anyone, yeah, we don't talk about that. So,
yeah. So I mean, online dating again. I think like we all know,
but this is the way that I think a lot of people have met during COVID.
Hell yeah.
You know, they've done because it feels like the safest route, especially during a pandemic. You don't want to go. You can't go to bars. You can't go to restaurants. Or you weren't able to for a long time. So this is the only way to connect, and it's the best way, frankly, because you're all looking for the same thing, or you're all single.
Not
hopefully,
sure, yeah.
You're all looking for either ass, or you're looking for a relationship. I don't know, but there's different apps that like. They can narrow it down for you.
Looking for I don't know, either
I don't know what people are looking for anymore. I don't know.
Christ.
I don't know what people are looking for, dude. You think you know what people are looking for, and then all of a sudden they hit you with a curveball. Because thank you, Los Angeles.
Okay, Miss Bitter.
I am bitter. Okay. Well, not yeah. I'm a bitter Betty.
You're in a happy relationship and you have to have a baby. How can you be bitter? Where'd you meet this man?
Because I actually met him on a dating app.
There you go. So.
I met him on Hinge.
On Hinge. I will have to say.
I met him on Hinge, and he's an absolute gem. I don't know how it happened.
Listen, I will have to say that I've never been a big fan of dating apps, and I was on Bumble for a little bit, and then I was on Raya.
Bumble's the worst.
Yeah, Bumble's terrible.
It's like also, what trolls under this bridge?
Also, I hate that on Bumble. You match with someone, and then I have to wait for the girl to message me back. And if I want to make the move, I have to pay. So it's like I have to make the move, and on top of that, I have to pay. It's like, what am I, an idiot?
But Julien, I thought you liked when the woman made the first move.
I know, but they don't make the first move, so then I'm forced to make it.
But isn't that what Bumble is?
Yeah, but then you match, and they have to message you within 24 hours, and then they don't. Why the fuck are we matching?
Because they found somebody else.
Sure, then unmatch me. Actually, I'm bitter about these.
Who's the bitter one now? Oh, no shit. Wow.
But then I remember when I was on Hinge was cool. Hinge was pretty cool.
I had the most luck on Hinge.
Yeah. And it was good. Like, I met a lot of good quality people.
Mm-hmm. Good I think you can also excuse me.
What? Did you burp?
Little bit.
Wow, I didn't hear anything.
I'm a silent burpist.
Burper.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Fart too? Or?
So, those happen. Those happen. They're called pregnancy toots. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, let's blame it on pregnancy.
Oh, that is true, by the way. Okay. That is a fact.
So basically, when you're pregnant, you have 9 months where you can fart as much as you want, and it'll technically be okay.
Oh, he looks forward to it. He does. Yeah.
He looks forward to you farting?
He tries to make me fart. Yeah. Yeah, he does.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's probably the doctor in him.
He doesn't care. Mm-hmm. He's not fazed by anything.
Yeah,
there's nothing that I could do that could gross him out.
Yeah, I'm sure I've tried crazy stuff.
I've really tried hard.
Yeah. What about your nails?
What?
Your pointy nails?
Yeah.
That doesn't gross him out?
No, he loves my pointy nails, but he's kind of in Camp Julien a little bit.
Camp Julien?
He likes the square nail.
He likes the square? Mm-hmm. Every guy likes the square nail. Again, I understand you ladies do it for yourself, but every guy I know likes square and short.
To me, the square nail is equivalent to the blunt heel, like the square heel, like a what kind of shoe? Like a clog, I guess.
I have no idea what that is.
It's like a big chunky square heel. That's what a square nail to me feels like. Whereas like an almond shaped nail is a little more elegant. Wow. It's a little more elegant.
It's not. Nothing's more elegant than
the fingers.
Okay, but hold on.
If you want long fingers, like when someone's like scratching your head, don't you want them to have like, No,
I want square short nails.
You want stubby short nails.
Square short nails. And I'm so
What
glad.
kind of nails does your girlfriend have?
She has square short nails.
She has square short.
She had a little bit. She always had square longer, and then one day I mentioned that I tend to have I always loved her nails, but I tend to mention that I like short, and now they're shorter, and honestly, it's the best thing. It looks so classy.
Because what Julien wants, Julien gets.
So classy. And I'm not one to say because I always tell her it's like this is what I like.
If she
but
came
obviously
home with nails looking like mine, what would you say?
I
would say this has been fun, but it's over?
No. But
exactly.
if she asked me, do you like my nails? I'd be like, it's not my favorite. But again, I always tell her that it's not my favorite. It's like the best way of saying like I don't like it. It's not my favorite. But it's
not something that I would have chosen. But
I always tell her, do what you want, like do what makes you feel good. And it's my problem if I don't like it.
I agree.
You shouldn't have to deal with it. But then she's also very good at saying, well, no, because I want you to find my hands attractive. So, and I want this. So that's very nice.
Attractive.
Or whatever it is. Like she'd rather have the nails that I enjoy. I
don't understand what the deal is with your fingernail preferences. Like what is it, like a fear? Like what's behind that?
Fear, but okay, if you'd give me the choice, then why wouldn't I pick my favorite? To me, like claw almond type of thing makes me think like you're a witch. It's like witchy shit. It's like it's also long nails to me.
Turn you to stone or
no, but also long nails to me, they look dirty. I know you're not, but like I have this thing. I was like, it's dirty. They're long. Cut them, trim them, make something out of it. So when they're short,
that's what a man does. Like men trim their nails because they might get their hands a little dirty.
No, but like sure, whatever. Listen, it's my preference.
I have to pick my
and on top of that, your man prefers it. Just
the worst that happens with me is like maybe I'll be baking cookies and I'll get like the cookie dough underneath my nails.
Exactly.
But you wash those off. I'm not an animal. Like who's gonna walk around with gunk under their nails?
I don't know.
It's disgusting.
I don't know what to tell you. But again,
anyway, we have completely derailed.
We just completely derailed
ourselves.
Because we were actually talking about dating apps, and the reason why is because today we have a guest. Her name is Heather.
Yes, Heather Hopkins.
Hopkins.
She is the host of the Hookup podcast.
She's the creator of the Hulah app.
Yep. Hula.
Yep. Hulah. And so she's going to talk to us about what this app is about.
I know. I want to know how it's different from other apps, and if she's had success and where it came from.
She's going to give us some data, I think, about users.
I also want to know what her dating life is like. She's a very pretty girl. Very pretty girl. I don't know if she's living in Los Angeles. Is she living in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna ask her. And also, if I remember correctly, didn't you say that she says she's not for games at all? She hates games.
Oh yeah, that's one thing. I was looking on her Instagram. She is very anti-game. Like does not like playing games in relationships.
My type of girl right there. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. Let's bring on.
Hey guys.
Oh, did you hear?
I was laughing at your intros to me.
Did you hear my nail?
She hates games.
She hates games. That's one thing I know about you already.
It's
the nails or no? The nails bit. Did you hear that?
No, the nails bit. Oh,
yeah, like Heather, what kind of nail do you have? Do you have? Show your hands. Show your hands.
Oh, I have man hands.
Nope, not man hands. You have exactly the kind of hands that Julien likes.
Yep.
Really?
Short nails. Yeah. We're talking. She always has those claws, and I keep telling her to try to not have claws.
Do you have the ones that angle at the top?
Yes, the almond ones.
No.
Why don't
those are claws?
Everybody hating on the almond all of a sudden.
I always tell her that, like, for some reason, I mean, again, and I know that girls don't really, care about what men thinks when it comes to because they do it for themselves. But like every guy that I know, like short, manicured, like short.
Mine are just like clean, clear, like
short nails, perfect.
I don't know how I'm going to handle a baby with these nails, but
I don't know either. I don't know how you tag if I do anything.
You're going to stab the poor kid with these knives.
Yeah. Do you have to wear contacts? Because I don't think I can put in. You can do that.
Delicately, very delicately. I don't know how. Like Cardi B, like I don't know how she does it. Have you seen her claws? Yeah. And she has two babies.
Okay, but she's millions of dollars. I'm sure somebody else feeding them.
Does everything for her. Somebody else wipes her ass. I'm sure
like this walking around like
I know. Well, that's that's an indication of how rich you are, right? The longer the nail,
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, that might be something.
There could be
I don't get my, because that's so expensive. And then the time to sit there and like, all
Do it.
I just hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've gone 3 times in my life.
Okay,
Heather.
tell us about you though.
Yeah.
So hold on. Yeah, because
Okay.
and your fantastic project.
Yes. Okay. So I'm Heather Hopkins. I have not done any media in so long because we've been building. We were called an app. It was an app called Grace, and so we grew a good amount of users. We had people in relationships that met through Grace, and then things all kind of took a turn. It started very organically, and now it's an app called Hulah that by the time this airs will be out, and it's quite different than the others.
So did you change the name because you changed the concept? It was
So yes and no. So it still has the same core, and our whole thing is bring people back to meeting face to face, because a lot of the world right now, we're all like so wrapped up in our keyboards, we miss these special moments of actually seeing each other's smiles. And it started very from a personal pain point I was having, but we switched the name because we had closed a fundraising round. I brought on a co-founder, and me and him sort of reimagined everything. So we have the same core, but the whole process in which it's done is never been done in the space before.
okay. I do feel like I don't know yet what the app's about and how it works, but I do feel like
I'll tell you.
Like Graze sounds more sexual to me.
Grace?
Yeah. Graze
was because like
than Hulah.
We found like Grace felt too.
Yeah, Hulah gives me hope.
Yeah.
It's like Hulah.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Hula is like, so it's like a hula hoop, like bringing dating full circle, like bringing people back to talking face to face. And it also, I'm sure later we can talk about sort of what makes us different, but we also bring the circle of friends into it. So that
are you from LA? Do you live in LA?
I'm originally from Orange County, so kind of by Disneyland. And then I lived in LA for 8 years, and I just moved to Newport Beach a couple months ago.
Oh wow!
Nice.
I love it.
Disneyland.
You prefer it over LA, huh?
She's full of smiles, bubbles, and it's true. Like you have a very sunny disposition.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Well, I love LA. Okay, do not get me wrong. I loved it there, but during COVID, it's not the same LA. Like I had to get out, so it was just I would go running, and when I'm running, I'm not wearing a mask. Like no one's around me, and people would pull their car over and just cuss me out. And I'm like, I cannot live in, like, it just felt so negative. And so I just was like, I need to be in a land of happy. So
and Newport Beach, it's like that.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Yeah.
I remember when the pandemic was like, we're pretty big in the pandemic, and I was running. And same, I wouldn't wear a mask. And I had on West Hollywood, and I had this woman in her car with her windows up and a mask on.
Oh yeah.
Signal for me to put a mask. And my only answer to that was like, listen, if you're that scared, stay home. It's such a wrong answer, but I was kind of like,
I was walking. I forgot my mask one time, and I was walking my dog around the block, and this guy comes up and starts filming me and like egging me on, like Karen. Like what?
He's
what am I doing wrong? You're a Karen. You're being a Karen.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. I was just so tired of it. I mean, it would happen so often that it just was like, I got to get out.
So you were like, I'm moving to Newport Beach. Okay. So again, I'm fascinated by people who are in the dating world, because I feel like we're all trying to figure it out. And you said your app is different from most. So
well, hold on. What made you create an app?
Yeah.
Okay. So that will help with context. So my whole background, I was a child actress. I started at 14 years old in TV and film. That's what I saw my life doing. I was, finally got, the big agent. I was doing well. And then in the midst of all that, I started a podcast. This was like in 2017. So this was like before podcasts were really a thing. And so my podcast turned out to be about my dating life. And I had just moved to LA. So I was kind of like new to the whole world, and I was on the dating apps. And the same thing kept happening where, I would chat with a guy, and I would be like, oh, like he seems so funny and great. And then I'd get on the date, and I'd be like, oh my God. And within the first 5 minutes, I'd be like, no. And so on my show, I made it a rule, and I made it a rule that you had to FaceTime before you go on a date. And I was like, just blame it on me. Say, I can't go on this date until we FaceTime. And so that really changed things. And I was like, why isn't there an app that's always a part of the process? And so I got frustrated, and I was like, I was annoyed that I had to keep doing the small talk, and then eventually like ask, hey, can we video chat? And then sometimes people were weirded out by it. And I'm like, why isn't there just like a place where this is normalized? And so that's how Hulah started. And yeah.
Speaking about that though, I feel like the fact that you were even able to meet up is already quite big on online dating. The amount of people that I was saying we match with,
I know.
You know, and then you talk.
It's overwhelming.
And then it's just you have a conversation with one, and then no more answer.
Yep.
Or then it's like, let's meet up. And then
so here's the problem. Here's the problem that I see. It's almost like people have become like imaginary because you don't have any real emotional connection to them, right? They're just like at this point photos with like some chats. Like that doesn't do it. Like there's no emotional connection. But I can tell you on Hulah, you know, it's 5 minutes. So you basically, after you match with someone, you have to schedule first a 5-minute video chat. So you'd be like Thursday, 5 o'clock, and then you can chat. But at least, you know, hey, on Thursday at 5 o'clock, we're going to talk, you know? And so it finally.
What happens if they don't?
What
happens if they schedule it, they don't show up?
Well, it does go against you on the algorithm. So you want to show up to them.
Oh.
I mean, you're not going to be destroyed, but like, it's not good. You're not going to do so well. You're not going to get as many likes.
So then it also makes you more picky with who you match because you're like, instead of matching, why not? Now it's like, no, this one I'm interested in knowing more.
Well, actually, what we found, so as I said, we've been launched as Grays. So we've had a lot of data, and what we found is actually people are it's way better on Grays to take more chances on people where you wouldn't on other platforms. Because, okay, am I going to sign up to like do small talk with this guy? Or on Hulah, I can just talk to them for 5 minutes and kind of, you know, like I'm sure you've both been in the situation where a person's profile, you're like, on the photos, you're like, they could be cool, but I don't know. But on Hulah, you're only committing 5 minutes or less. You know, you can end it after 2 minutes of talking to them. So it's actually a place where it's better to be less picky because you would be actually surprised once you talk to someone and you can kind of see their swagger.
And you don't have to go on an actual date with them and commit
exactly
an hour or two sitting with that person and like not having an out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, a personality does win the day. Like a sense of humor does win the day.
Oh
like,
my gosh. We have people.
He has a stellar personality. I'm in.
Oh, totally. And that's kind of where a lot of dating apps miss the mark is for women. We are so emotional people. Like a guy can be funny and all of a sudden he went from like a 7 to a 10. Like it's like, it's like a whole different thing. And you can see that, right? Like you can see that on Hulah, and that's what makes it so special is that's always a part of the process.
Yeah. I had this one experience with on Hinge like a while back where I matched with someone, we talked, it was fun and cool, and then we decided to FaceTime, and then we FaceTime and it was great. We FaceTime for a little bit, but the problem is the camera was here and up.
Okay, and then what was below there?
Obviously nothing good, right?
So I was super excited, but then, you know, I know it's going to make me sound like a dick, but when we met up, I was like, I'm an athletic dude. I like girls that have a specific
that's
body.
your body type.
Okay, hold on though.
Friends, let's not act like we don't.
What was her photos like? Were they just really photoshopped? I'm confused.
Honestly, it's angles.
Did she just have photos of her face? Or?
It was like face, and then the way this was turned, it was hard to see how wide her shoulders were.
Well, there's also like great editing programs
and great editing.
Okay, well, I have a word for anyone. I think everyone should always, like, I'm always preaching, just be yourself. Like, post what you actually look like, because never should anyone walk in and be shocked. That's not okay. You don't want. That's just a waste of both of your time. Like, come on.
And also, some guys might be into it. It's just like if the guy isn't or the girl isn't. That I feel like guys just, generally speaking, pay more attention to that. But.
My poor friend Lauren, she's been on a couple of dates. Actually, I shouldn't say she's gone on the dates because she's bailed out. The one date that she went on, this guy was at least 20 years older than what he was
Oh my
advertising on the dating app.
So mean.
And I told her, I'm like, run. Like I don't care if you're in the and she was in the parking lot. She caught a glimpse of him walking up to where they were supposed to meet. And I said, bail it, like pull the parachute. Like, that's it. Like, you're done. Like there, you shouldn't waste 5 minutes of your time on somebody who's going to falsely sell themselves.
Right. But that's why Hulah is so great, because that's all you'll be, a ton of it. The vetting is done on that side. And also, not to mention, I obviously built the platform originally for myself. So I've used it and had success with it. And I can tell you, when you meet someone through Hulah and then you bring that into real life, it's so much more natural. Like, you know exactly who you're walking up to. Like, it's not like that awkward thing when you're on the other apps and you're like, Bumble, you know, it's just like, you're already like, it just feels right and natural.
That's how Jared and I met on Hinge. We had a couple of like
FaceTime
video chats, FaceTime dates. We had 4 FaceTime dates before we actually went out in person. And a lot of people might think, well, if you talk for a long time right away, what are you going to have to talk about when you're with each other? So much. There's so much.
What a lame.
I feel like it's also for women a way to be a little bit safer.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
You know who you're talking to. You've already kind of catch the vibe, and it's a little bit better. I've been asked multiple times when I was online dating to FaceTime. I had no problem. The only thing that kind of bothered me was giving them the number to FaceTime, because I'm like, if we don't vibe and then they're gonna reach out, I'd rather be like, it's like the chicken way out is like you FaceTime on the app and then it's like, I didn't like it, unmatched, never talk to the person again.
Exactly.
And that's what Hulah does.
Easy. Mm-hmm. And in addition to that, so another cool thing so Hulah is Gray's kind of, we felt that it didn't, obviously when you actually had the video chat with the person, that whole experience was so special, but the very front side of it didn't feel like it kind of looked like the other apps.
Okay.
So what we've actually done to completely flip the way that it's been done in this space is we actually involve people's friends into the profile. Now hear me out.
Yeah,
I know. Sounds crazy. Okay. So we have these things called loops. So so imagine kind of like a TikTok style feed, but we call them loops. And what that is it'll show your photos montaged, and in between is your friends answering in under 5 seconds questions about you. So they're going to pick from this list. And so it'll be like, describe, one word, like you describe their last relationship in 3 words. So you're going to get this full look at this person through their photos, their friends, and then their regular profile.
That's cool. Wow. I like
it. So it's really like a full circle view of this person. And then you're watching this video on this loop on them, and then you match based on that. And then you schedule that 5 minutes.
So when you're setting up your profile, you have to send the picture to your friends. Like, hey buddy, can you record?
So you send your link, and then they just click on the link, and it takes them through like a web portal. They don't have to be on the app themselves. They can be in a relationship, whatever. And they'll be like, they'll just answer a question on your behalf. And then you're going to get a notification that says, so-and-so added to your loop, and go check it out. And so you'll be like, oh God.
And if you're not happy with it, if you don't like it, what happens?
You can delete it. You can
delete it and have them do it again.
Redo.
Yeah.
Okay, so you find a way to make it convenient, because I feel like a lot, especially dudes, like they're going to send that to their boys and be like, nah, bro, I don't want to do this. But if you just have a link,
I think a lot of guys would take pleasure in
it's fun. It's fun.
I'm sure. That's fun. A great idea.
It's really funny.
So it's like similar to Raya, where it's kind of like a
it's video
it's a video thing. And is there any like questions? You know how Hinge has like all these like annoying questions.
So we actually don't have questions, but we have Ask Me About. So basically, when you're on the video chat, we have this thing called the cheat sheet, and it's derived from your profile, which is topics that you would be wanting to talk about with someone. Okay. So you can kind of like pick from the list or customize it. So you can be like, yo, ask me about my podcast, or, whatever that is.
Oh, so it helps the person who you're video with to start a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like really like everything in one. You have a wingman and a wingwoman. You have a dating coach to kind of tell you what kinds of questions to ask this person. And
that's really cool. I'm going to tell my friends to download this, because it's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what surprised you the most about in your path toward creating this dating app?
Well, I always say, have you guys seen Silicon Valley on HBO?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there needs to be a version of that about dating apps. I mean, the things that I see in my day is unlike any job in the world. I'm just like, you know, we have full-time moderation teams. So we're always, you know, staying on top of what people are uploading. And sometimes, you know, people upload either inappropriate things or just questionable things. And there's been things that I've seen in my life that I never thought I would see.
Oh no!
Really? So
We're super duper strict on our stuff, and we also have AI, so it will trigger right away that there's there's an issue with the piece of content that was uploaded.
Is it like a naked picture?
Sometimes I have to review it, and it is a sight.
Well,
Like what?
Do you really want to know?
A lot of DPs, right? I'm sure.
DPs.
Oh yeah, like the most graphic ones you've ever seen.
Let me ask you something. Do they, because your face is associated with this dating app, do people know that you're going to be seeing this stuff before they upload it? Because I can imagine.
Well, so it's mostly our moderators that see it, but sometimes they'll like in Slack, they'll be like, hey, I'm going to step away. And sometimes, you know, our team is still small. So I'll be like, all right, I'll man it for and sometimes I'm like, oh my God, delete.
Nightmare fuel.
So actually, I also have a question algorithm wise.
Yes.
Do every man get the same recommendation? Because so one of my best friend, at some point we were both on Hinge, and he would look at the suggestions I would get.
Yeah.
And I would look at his, and I would piss myself because his suggestions were so bad. We're in the same age range. We're like, you know, we're both actors. We're both witty, and I would get really like cool, at least way prettier suggestion than him. And then you'll see Hinge had this thing called like people you may like, right? Where they like rematch you, and it was always something okay for me. Him,
it's like the island of misfit toys.
oh my God,
I don't know.
Things, and to the point, my buddy, he's Haitian, and he was like, he would say as a joke, he's like, bro, this app is racist. Like he would only get like really big girls because, you know, of this whole thing about saying, oh, black guys like thick girls and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And he was just like, there has
That's
to be.
interesting.
He's like, why am I getting everything I don't like and you're getting things I like? And then he's like, he's constantly saying no. It's like, you think the app would pick it up that says, I don't want any of this.
I do wonder how.
So how does that work? This algorithm?
You know, I don't know how other apps do it. Everyone kind of has their different way that they go at it.
Okay.
Ours, we are new, so we're still in kind of that phase where we're doing a lot of learning about, you know, how to best optimize our algorithms. So it is obviously at the very base of all algorithms is your preferences. So, you know, you want to meet people at this many miles that you know, are this age. So that's the very base. And then the rest of it, like for us, we definitely are about making online dating really efficient, and we don't want to waste people's time. So, you know, we're not going to show like one of the beauties about Hulah is everyone has to be a real person, right? You can't you can't be a bot because you actually have to talk on videos. So everyone is real. And so we do typically favor people who are active on the platform because we don't want you to be we want you to get matches and have a conversation. We want to get use out of the platform. So that's a big factor in our algorithm. And then of course there's some other pieces that I can't really disclose right now because we're still, you know, working on them. But there's a lot of, when you talk about race and stuff, we've done a lot of studies and looking into where a lot of algorithms are derived from, and they have a lot to do with AI. And so if you do have your race or whatever in other dating apps, a lot of times they'll take data based on what that person's like and then what the other person's like, and they mix it. So that's possible about how he was being delivered to certain people.
Oh, wow.
Do you have to have a certain number of people sign on to the app before you can launch?
Well, we already have a pretty good base from Grace. So we actually just are converting the whole thing. Like all of a sudden, people just look at their phones and it says Hulah, and you know, we're obviously communicating with our users.
How many users do you need when you started Grace? Because like if there's 10
I can't disclose the number we're at right now, but we're at a good amount, and it's very active. We have people that are dating and in the I love you phase. Probably we'll start seeing marriages or something coming soon. We've only been out for a year, but I'm so sorry. What was the question?
How long, like how many users do you need to start launching originally?
So yeah, when Graze, before we launched that, we actually did a 100-person beta. So we had 100 people using, we were like, crash it, try to break it. So that's kind of our initial base. And then from that, it just kind of
just started people. And you feel like word of mouth is the best way to?
Oh, that's my favorite. Yeah. Word of mouth is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of feeling does it give you to know that you're making these matches?
Oh my gosh. So for me, I didn't realize everything in my life is really driven. My purpose is really bringing people together. And I have a deep love for people. Like I'm the type of person that if I go walking the street, I'll be like, hi. Like I'm really friendly and I talk to everyone. And I just think it's so special. And it just lights me up to have a, connect with people. And I look at, my generation and it makes me really sad because I watch so much of us just like distancing ourselves and it kind of, I don't know, like we just miss these moments of like really connecting. And so the fact that I built a platform where I'm bringing that back and like bringing people back to like actually having a real conversation is huge. And so that lights me up so much. Even if it doesn't turn into a relationship, it's like the fact that people are finally, breaking beyond the keyboard.
Yeah, I think that's great because I do feel like we're in the time where we're the most connected, but we're also the loneliest.
Yes.
And like nobody meets up with anyone, nobody hangs out with because everything's done online and life is better online. So you found a way to actually combine
use tech positively. Yeah.
So now people are like, I can actually find connection without being in person, but it's an actual real one with an actual person.
Well, that's why when I started the company, I was like, 97% of the population has smartphones. Like, what are we still doing? Just typing back and forth to each other. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I know it takes longer, and
what a waste of time.
I really do feel like people find it hard to communicate.
My gosh, people got awkward.
Yeah,
they nervous,
awkward, and they don't know what kind of topics are like appropriate to bring up, and so you find yourself like just going around in circles, and it's not impactful, and it doesn't do anything for human connection.
Yep, that's what we're all about, bringing that full circle back around. So
Then so have you met someone on Hulah?
I have. I dated someone for a good amount of time. Unfortunately, we were both entrepreneurs. So that's my struggle right now. I just feel like right now I'm really into finding other people love and just like I'm focusing on my stuff. And I don't know, like we'll see.
Yeah.
So you're single.
At one point,
you're single.
And you don't
I was. I'll tell you guys my relationship timeline. So when I started the company, I wasn't when I first started, I was in a relationship because I was building it out for myself. Of course, in the midst of building it, I had a boyfriend. We were together for 2 years.
Okay.
Broke up, and then I did finally get to use my own app, and I did meet someone, and it was amazing. It was so natural and wonderful, and then like I feel like the busier and busier I get, the harder it is to really date. So it's not a problem I had before having my own company. It's like, I don't know. Well, I think
it's great that you got to use your own products so you can actually make it better and experience it.
Yeah.
That's going to be a cool feeling to know that
it was pretty weird.
To know that you're out there like making connections and finding people love. I mean, to me, there's nothing more important than that in the world. You can have your career can come and go, but like long-term happiness and finding somebody who you can share your life with is so much more.
I'm in the state where I'm really not worried about, I'm very trusting that, God's going to bring a great person into my life. So I'm like, I'm not worried about that. I just want to focus on my stuff right now.
Right, exactly. And it's all about timing too. I mean, if you're at this place in your life where you don't have room right now, and you're too focused on one thing, then it's not going to work. But I mean, eventually you'll get to a place where you're open to it, and that's when it happens. And
that's it.
And that's it. Yeah.
And you said you don't. You said Jen stalked your Instagram, and she said that you post something about games. You hate games.
Yeah, I hate games.
That was back when she was a brunette. By the way.
Oh, I know.
I was gonna say, is this your natural hair color? What's your natural hair color?
So my natural hair color is like this, like kind of like a brown. Like my mom has black hair. Mom has black hair with bright blue eyes.
Okay.
Blonde is me. I accidentally went blonde I was an actress, and I had put sun in my hair like an idiot, and my brunette hair turned orange. Like ginger. And I was like, oh my, everyone's like, Ginger Heather. I'm like, okay, we got to switch this. So I got like blonde highlights. The next thing you know, I'm blonde. And then I'd always been curious, like, what would I look like brunette? And, then I felt too like edgy.
Have like this, you have a sunny disposition about you. I just feel like
I don't know. I feel like in my professional life, obviously I love business, and I'm, I feel like I am more serious, but then in my personal life, I just want to have fun and laugh and be goofy. And I felt like being brunette, it's so weird, but everyone would talk to me about business. And I was like, I don't want to talk about that in my personal life. Yeah. So I was like, I want people to just think I'm dumb. That's ideal.
So that's it. That's it. The blondes do have more fun. They do.
There you go.
That is.
I tested it. I would agree.
It is tested. So yeah. I mean, when you were a brunette, you were talking about how you don't
because
like
we
to
went
play
on
games.
a segment about hair color.
Yeah, I know. We've gone on multiple tangents in this podcast. Nails, hair color, whatever, the important stuff. So yeah. I think that most people are with you when you say you hate games. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody who likes it, but we still play it. We still play them. And I can't figure out why.
If you don't play games, you're labeled as crazy or needy.
Yeah.
We've talked about this.
Then I say this. I'm like, okay, fine. I'm crazy and needy.
Yeah.
If that's what you think.
It's true, because that's the thing, right? It's like, you want right? Like we don't have to wait 7 days to go on a date. Let's just
this is so dumb. Or like the texting rule. Oh, I cannot.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to wait like 3 days before you text the person back.
If you had a good time with the person, have to tell them. That's it. That's easy.
We did an entire podcast on people who play games.
Yeah. We did one, right?
And there's so many.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Did you so then was that also a way, did you try to incorporate that then in Hulah?
I mean, I think we're very much built on minimizing games.
It's video based. You're not doing like the whole
it's like
the DMs message back and forth.
I know, but the problem is then, okay, you meet, all right, you have a date, a video date, and then it goes well, and you guys, they can still play games after.
Yeah, but at least you get to know the person. Mm-hmm. There's so many layers that are taken away when you're chatting over video.
Yeah. And you can also, like, if someone's going to play games after that, then bye. They're not your, see you later. I mean, I just won't even put up with it.
No.
Yeah.
But that's true. Like, you're not like, you don't have that. Some people talk in only emojis. Some people
like, don't send too many. Don't send me too many exclamations. Don't seem too eager. I'm like, just be you. Like,
yeah.
And actually, we had a researcher says that people that use emojis get laid.
Yes, they do.
They get more first dates because it shows more personality, and then they get laid more. They use emojis.
Interesting. We also.
I actually.
Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say that what we found is we've had some guys write into us, and they said that they're like, wow, I've never had so many dates in my life. And I'm like, why? And they're like, I think it's because people can finally see my personality and my pictures just sucked. And I'm like, it's so true though. Like, I've had guys where I was like shocked. I was like, well, I was not expecting him to be so great.
Right.
And I think that video can really bring people up on
for sure.
Emojis, video.
Is Hulah only in the US, or is it going to be also in like Canada and?
Yeah, so we're only in the US right now. I have seen people come in from other places, so I don't know how they're doing it, but yes, we're supposed to be only in the US.
Just the US.
Yeah. Well, I think if you do go international, one thing that I think is very attractive is an accent. So I think
I am the opposite.
A 5 or 10.
I'm the opposite.
Really?
I actually don't like accents.
You don't like accents? What accent?
No, and here's why.
I am feeling personally attacked.
Hold on. Let me tell you why. It's not. It's more so because I feel bad being the person that the accent person has to date, because I have a problem where I start to copy you. And I don't mean to. And so next thing you know, like, I'll make fun of how you say a word, and I'll be like, oh yeah, bata? And I'm like, oh my God, that's so rude. And so I just can't date. It's the actress in me. I just naturally
parroting what people are.
And I'm just, I can't do it. So.
Oh my God, no, I'm the same way, especially with British accents. It's almost like cartoonish, where I'm like, you have to fight it. Like you have to fight not parroting what they're saying.
It just comes out.
Yeah. Why don't you, can you parrot Julien's
I'm not
accent?
speaking anymore.
I'm not speaking anymore.
Not speaking anymore.
Anymore.
You have to sound like you're choking on your words at the end of every.
Are you French or what are you? Brazilian?
I am. No, I'm French. Born and raised.
Oh, okay.
But I lost, I'd say, 80% of my accent.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too strong.
A little 20%.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too strong.
No, it's not. No, it's not bad. It's not bad.
No,
I
it's
can
not.
get it stronger if I need to get me out in certain situations. I'll just pretend like I don't speak English.
Have you ever gone on a date with a girl and you've really laid the accent on heavy?
No.
No, never.
He's like, turn it up.
No, no.
Time to turn.
My charm's not working. Okay, give me a second.
Julien to become Julien.
Julien.
Sorry, did I say my name was Julien? Sorry, I meant Julien.
When you drink, do you become Julien or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So when I drink, I sound a bit more French. Yeah, and I kind of slurp my words a bit. And it's like, oh, what's up, boy? What's up?
And especially if you're around your French friends.
Yeah. Oh, my French friends, forget it. Yeah, don't forget it. Do you have any? Yeah. No. I mean, so it's already on the App Store. By the time this airs, it will be under Hulah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I can't wait to see how it's this app. I think is going to be super successful.
Me too. I like it. I'm gonna tell 2 of my boys right now to download it because I know they're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
rock on.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Heather, for coming on and talking to us about this.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Where can people then find you on Instagram or?
Because you have a podcast, no? Do you have?
I do have a podcast. That's how I started. So my podcast is called The Hookup with Heather Hopkins.
Okay.
And then my personal Instagram and TikTok and all that is at It's Heather Hopkins.
Okay.
And then Hulah is at Join Hulah. Yep.
That's awesome. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right,
guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Go file down those nails.
Oh, she got you. I have a file right here. Wow.
I like that concept.
I
love that concept for an app. I feel like it makes it makes a lot of sense, especially when people play a lot of games on the regular apps and the back and forth and wasting your time and
it just makes the whole thing fun.
Yeah.
Because every time I gotta get on a dating app, there's always this thing where I'm like, it's dragging to do.
It's intuitive. Like clearly she's been on other apps. I'm not sure. I don't know for sure, but she's been on apps to know what works and what doesn't work. And this one seems like it's different enough where I think people are going to want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I love that you can bring your friend to it.
As long as you're not afraid to show their personality.
No, yeah.
Ooh, oh my gosh, what are we all going to do? We have to grow personalities now. Yeah. So Hulah. Yeah. So as usual, if you have any questions for me or Julien, DM us or DM X Appeal Podcast.
Yeah. And we'll
actually just DM X Appeal Podcast because
it's better.
It's easier that way.
It's easier. Mm-hmm. Cool. See you next week.